Hello, hello, I'm Helichki. Get comfy, grab some snacks, air out those private parts.
Nice.
Because we are diving deep into Reddit. Am I the asshole for telling my husband I was going to divorce him for going to his sister's wedding? Okie dokie. This sounds interesting. So this was happening in real time, and I don't know if my emotions are super high right now or I'm completely in the right. My sister-in-law is getting married and I have been helping her plan her wedding, from the DJ to the makeup artist to hair, etc. She asked me to be in the wedding party. I agreed to that. My husband agreed to have me read the prayer at church, even though I'm not very religious, and to sponsor the wedding. I was never asked for that. I don't even know what it means to be a sponsor to the wedding, unless I'm reading that wrong. Okay, let's continue. Comes to today, her first dress fitting. I'm there with my mother-in-law, my sisters-in-law, and her future in-laws. Everyone was looking at bridesmaids' dresses, and so was I. I was then in that moment told I was not in the wedding party. Girl, you're doing maid of honor work. Okay. I was not allowed to be in the wedding photos and would have to drive myself to the wedding due to my husband being in the groom's party. And it's weird that she's not even allowed to be in the wedding photos. And then they're going wedding shopping. She is just publicly demoted in front of everyone. I was told I was basically the wedding my planner and would need to leave after the ceremony while the wedding party took photos to make sure the reception was being set up correctly. I walked away and texted my husband I was upset and didn't want to ruin his sister's big moment. She picked her dress and they continued to look at bridesmaids' dresses. I told my sister-in-law I was leaving and congratulations on the dress. I made it outside and began to cry and called my husband and explained the situation to him. This isn't the first time his family has done this to me in the 9 years we've been together. They disrespected me and my marriage so many times. And I personally think she's being very mature about this, not like screaming or ruining the bride's moment, even though her family, her husband's family is being kind of disgusting to her. I explained I no longer wanted to attend the wedding, and he said okay, but I'm still am.
Why?
I told him if he wanted to, that was fine, but it would be the last time he allows his family to make me feel this way. He said I'm being ridiculous, and my family agrees with him. So am I the asshole? I think this is absolutely wild behavior from the sister-in-law and the family. She was invited to the wedding party per the first couple of lines. She contributed to real labor of getting this getting the wedding set up. She was getting the DJ, being basically a wedding planner for free. She was, showing up, shopping, literally helping her sister-in-law plan probably one of the most stressful and exciting days that someone can go through. I feel like it's super dehumanizing that she mentioned that his family was like this since they've been together.
You just can't get into it because they would never understand.
And the fact that her husband is not kind of being on her side about this is pretty crazy. She didn't want to ruin the bride's moment. She left and was just kind of disagreeing privately to figure this out with him. So I think OP is being super mature about this. And so no, you are not the asshole. Am I the a-hole for accepting my stepdaughter's apology, but not wanting to be close like we used to be? That's a pretty loaded question. I'm 50 and my husband is 50. He has two daughters who are now 25 and 23. For some context, I met him around 19 years ago, about 6 months after his divorce. About a year after we started dating, I met his daughters, and at the time they were 5 and 7. When I met them, their parents were already divorced and had 50-50 custody. Okay, wow. So she has basically known them their whole lives. From what I understood back then, their marriage and divorce involved a lot of jealousy, accusations of cheating, and just overall drama. I want to be clear, I had absolutely nothing to do with their marriage ending. I met him after everything was already over. Okay. When I first came into their lives, we actually had a really good relationship. We were close. After the dad and I got married, we stayed close for years. It honestly felt like the kind of step-parent relationship people hope for. The things started changing when the oldest was around 12 and started asking more questions about the divorce. At some point, they were told by their mom that I was the reason their parents split up and that I was the woman their dad cheated with, which isn't true. After that, things slowly shifted. They got more distant, more disrespectful at times, and relationship just kept getting worse. I didn't blame them back then because they were kids, and kids usually believe what they're told. Also, just a side note, 12-year-olds, 13-year-olds, like around that age, kids are just jerks. They're going through a lot, and so you can't blame them. But once they became adults, it got harder to brush things off. As adults, they've disinvited me from major family events, tried to convince their dad to leave me multiple times, and told him they would cut him off if he stayed with me. Okay, so years have passed, and I'm wondering if she even made any attempts to salvage the relationship. I mean, they're still pretty young. I'm hoping that she took it upon herself to try to bond with her stepchildren, because I feel like these are pretty intense things that her stepchildren are doing. But let's keep reading. There were times I basically wasn't allowed at holidays or family events if they were going to be there. They also didn't want to do much with their siblings, my kids with my husband. Whoa. So her stepdaughters are super resentful and are just trying to excise her from the family. Over the years, my husband and I tried to explain the timeline and that had nothing to do with their parents' marriage ending and that he never cheated. They never believed us. Recently, my mom started therapy after getting into a new relationship and apparently realized some of her past views on cheating weren't accurate. She ended up apologizing to the girls and to my husband and admitted that I wasn't involved in their divorce and that he didn't cheat. This all came out recently at the youngest daughter's birthday party. After that, both girls reached out and apologized to me. They said they wanted to fix things and go back to how we used to be when they were younger. I told them I do accept their apology because I do, but I also told them I don't think I can go back to having that same close relationship. I mean, okay, so she spent over a decade being excluded, disrespected, and treated like the villain of their family story. Accepting their apology is pretty generous, and like protecting her own emotional peace is really healthy for her. And I feel like maybe it is reasonable to say that it's not going to go back to the same way it was. And I feel like that's hard. Like if I put myself in that situation, I'd be like, okay, thanks for saying sorry for being mean to me for all these years, but yeah, it's not going to go back to the same way. But we can build on it, right? Because those girls are adults, she's an adult, and both parties were damaged for a long time. Like the girls believing the mom's lies and just a lot. And so OP is just wanting peace instead of just reopening old wounds, which is not making her cold, but it's just honoring like your limits. And I respect it. At this point, I am okay being civil, being kind, seeing each other at holidays, and just having a respectful relationship. I just don't feel like I have it in me to rebuild a super close relationship after everything that's happened. They're adults now living their own lives. The oldest is already engaged, and I'm sure they'll both have their own families soon. I don't hate them. I don't want drama. I just don't feel like I can emotionally go back to how things were before. I just want to live my life, raise my own kids, and have peace. So am I the asshole for accepting their apology, but not wanting to be close with them again? Like, she's in a state of healing, and it doesn't mean trying to go back and recreate what they had. It has been years of her dealing with this from her stepdaughters. So she's just moving forward differently. And I think that's really all you can do in kind of a situation like this. And I think she's doing it in a very, in a stable and nice way. Not the asshole. It's unfortunate it took their mom this long to get help and come clean. But you can't go back and unexperienced years worth of amniosity and trauma. Okay, I don't think I can say that word right. Sorry. It's okay for you to dictate the terms of any relationship you choose to have with them. Protect your peace. Yeah, it's pretty crazy that the mom, I mean, that's years, 30 years of her just, why didn't she go to therapy sooner? I'm so confused. Not everyone can afford it, but at least she got it. So, yay. Yeah, there is no decency to be had anywhere by the daughters or mom. Realizing you are wrong doesn't automatically mean you stop suffering consequences of the wrong you committed. Consequences can last for years or even a lifetime after that epiphany. This is true when you were wrong for a day, but this is wrong for over a decade. Expecting to be forgiven, and I would argue even rewarded for being misdreaved, of step one in making amends is wild. I would also like to know if they just forgave their mom immediately for all of this. Seems like a big F you to OP that they so readily forgave and were still refused to levy any consequences for it. Like what she did hurt them so little because in the end, the relationship they shared didn't mean anything. Yeah, I feel really bad for OP, but you're not the asshole, and she just needs to focus on her family right now and her kids. Am I the a-hole for letting my sister go thirsty through an entire meal? I don't even... Okay, let's just start reading. I also want to mention that this is not the a-hole poo mode. Gotta love that poo mode. All right. My sister does this thing where she'll just say something she wants with the expectation that someone will do it for her. Whew, we've all been there, baby. For example, if she wants the AC turned on, instead of asking someone to turn it on for her, she'll keep repeating things like, oh, isn't it super warm in here? Does anyone else feel really hot? Or, I heard that today is super hot. I heard that today is a super hot day. And if someone asks her if she wants the AC on, she'll reply with, no, I'm good. But if you're hot, then you should turn it on. That is messed up. Oh my gosh. Goodness, I hope she's on some medication. That is, gosh, I hate when people are not to the point. Please be blunt. If anything else in the world, be blunt. I hate going through loopholes, and I'm sure everyone else hates it. Say what you mean, and let's just get things moving. Because all those examples, that is just frustrating. If she was my sister, I'd probably smack the out of her. All right. Anyways, last weekend, it was my birthday, so my family and I went out to celebrate. During the meal, she kept making comments implying that she wanted another cocktail but wouldn't order it. Girl, what are you doing? How old is her sister? If she's like 5, I'm gonna be so sad and just redact this whole thing. Okay. During the meal, okay. The waitress even came by and asked if we needed anything, but she didn't order a drink even when we all did. That's your moment. That's your moment, sweet pea. Okay. I could tell she was agitated at that point, but it was my birthday, so I just ignored her. Same. Please ignore her. She's someone that needs to be ignored. Like, your sister is being like a passive aggressive person who needs people to just mind read everything. When we all got home, she got really snippy and said it was super rude that we all got our own drinks and didn't order one for her. My brother and I brought up that she said no when the waitress asked, but she said that wasn't the issue. In her opinion, we should have known to order her a drink too because everyone else got one. And the fact that we let her go thirsty was inconsiderate. And in the future, we ought to order her drinks too. She also said that she was the only one saying no to the waitress because her family should have taken care of her. Her words, not mine. What the fuck? Okay, she was said no to the waitress about her drink, and now she's just blaming everyone else for taking her word, which is so unreasonable. Like, adults, I'm assuming her sister is an adult, right? She's ordering cocktails, mocktails, whatever. Adults are responsible for ordering their own drinks. And, like, she was directly asked, like, order your drink at that point. Don't say no. And, like, expecting her family to, like, override her very explicit answer no because her family should take care of her is is just entitlement. It is blankly, it is entitlement. And it's not communication, which her sister obviously needs to work on. So OP is obviously not the asshole. Her sister, though, on the other hand, big ol' asshole. The three of us have been kind of arguing back and forth about it, and I'm just getting tired of fighting. So I wanted to get some more opinions on whether or not I should have ordered her drink as well. No, a million times no. If she wants a drink, she needed to say yes. Please get me a drink. Like, you're not rude for respecting her words, and you're definitely not obligated to decode hints on your own birthday. Like, this is just about her, like, wanting attention and control without, like, accountability. So, this is all on her. Enjoy your birthday, and bless you and your sister's relationship. Let's take a peek at these comments. Not the asshole. I think it would actually be considered rude to order someone another cocktail after they specifically told the waitress no. If I say I'm not drinking anymore, but someone orders me another drink anyway, I would be annoyed that they decided they knew better about my alcohol consumption than I did. I completely agree. My family is petty enough. The next time, everyone will be ordering drinks on her behalf. All drinks she hates. I agree. Do that to her. Also, if OP or their brother should have ordered her a drink because the family takes care of each other, shouldn't she be ordering the drinks for other people? What happens? The waitress comes around, asks if anyone wants more drinks, and then everyone says no, waiting on one of their siblings to read everybody's minds and order drinks for the table. The whole story is very silly. Yeah, I agree. This whole story is just insane. I mean, I could not stop laughing when I saw it. I was like, this is actually hilarious that someone's sister is like this. Sometimes I can't believe when I like read these Reddit things. I'm just like, these are real people in the world. And it's blowing my mind every single time. Am I the a-hole for not letting my neighbor borrow my snowblower and for not snow blowing their drive for them? Let's get into it. I, 45 female, am divorced and live alone. I live in a cold climate area that can get a lot of snow. I bought my current home 7 years ago, a few months after my divorce. Ooh, okay, go honey. Originally, I would pay my next door neighbor $20 to snowblow my drive when he did his, but he moved 2 years ago. The first winter after he moved, I really struggled to remove the snow. I had a really hard time shoveling it, and trying to hire people to come and remove it for me was difficult. They were unreliable and wouldn't show or couldn't come in time for me to get to work, etc. I started saving money to buy a nice snow blower for myself. I figured if I was buying one, I would get a large 2-stage one that could handle deep snow. I don't even know what a snow blower looks like, but this sounds pretty cool. I also wanted a battery-operated one because everyone I know with gas ones have issues every year with it not starting. All right. I really did my research and I ended up buying one right before winter hit this year. It cost me close to $2,000. $2,000 on a snowblower? That was a lot of money for me to spend. Yeah, that's a lot of money. You could buy literally anything else but a snowblower. But, you know, she needed it. Especially on something that wasn't an absolute necessity. I agree. That was a lot of money. Whew! Just sweating looking at that. $2,000 on a snowblower, of all things. Okay, we have had a lot of snow this year, and having my snowblower has been great. I sometimes struggle using it in really deep snow, but overall it has made snow removal so much easier. A couple weeks ago, I was out snow blowing during that bad snowstorm that hit most of the country. A neighbor from across the street came over and asked if he could use my snowblower when I was done. They just moved in recently, early November, and I have never met them. Given that it was a new snowblower and very expensive, I declined. I explained to him that I didn't feel comfortable lending it out because of how I had to save for over a year to be able to purchase it, and I was afraid to let others use it. I'm pretty sure he rolled his eyes. He then asked if I could just blow the drive for them. I told him I had to recharge the batteries before the next use. The batteries were less than half charged after I used it, and his drive is bigger than mine. And I didn't want to have to come back out in this weather, plus it can be difficult for me to maneuver the blower in deep snow like we had. He did not mention any payment, so I'm assuming he expected it to be done for free. I did offer to lend him my I did offer to lend him my snow shovel. My goodness. I don't think you're an asshole for that. Like, you don't know these people first off. And I mean, those are reasonable boundaries by far, and it is an expensive piece of equipment. You paid literally $2,000 for it. And also it's during a really big storm. So he should understand. Or you don't owe a stranger access to your nice ass expensive snow blower. Okay? Like, we can't compare it to someone wanting to borrow your car or your really nice bike or a really nice saw. We can go on the crazy end and be like, what if someone wanted to borrow your car? Hell no. Like, you don't owe this person, even if they're your neighbor that you never met, like, you don't owe them anything. And yeah, you definitely didn't owe him free labor either. Like, girl, how old is she again? Like, she's an older woman. 45. I mean, you're not that old, but you don't need to do that for him. He can do it himself. I was talking to some people I know, friends and coworkers, and some thought I was being ridiculous, to not let him borrow it, and others understood where I was coming from. So am I the a-hole? So no, 100%. OP is not the a-hole. Like, it's wild that people think like acting neighborly means ignoring your own safety and comfort. Last summer, the woman who had just moved in next door asked if she could borrow my lawnmower since she was having people over. I agreed and brought it over. 2 weeks later, I called her and asked if I could have it back. She said, oh yeah, it's out in the yard. There it was, sitting out in the yard with an empty gas tank. Also, it had rained several times since then while it was sitting out. Lesson learned. Yeah, don't let random people borrow your stuff. Jeez. If you want to borrow their stuff, form a good relationship with them, feed them, pay them, and then maybe ask if you can use their stuff, okay? Goodness. Am I the a-hole for refusing to co-sign my boyfriend's car loan after he spent his savings on a PS5 and sneakers? Just from reading that? No, you are not the asshole, but let's get into it. 25 female. All right, we're already done. No, you're not the asshole. Jeez. Okay, you guys are super young. Okay. 25 female, have been dating my boyfriend, 27 male, for 3 years. He's sweet but impulsive with money. He recently asked me to co-sign a loan for a car he needs for work. Thing is, he had the down payment but spent most of it last month on a PS5, some designer sneakers, and a weekend trip with friends. Not even with you? Oh my gosh, dump him. I told him no, I'm not risking my credit when he just proved he can't manage his own. He said I'm unsupportive and don't believe in his potential. Now his mom even texted me saying I should help him because that's what partners do. I'm starting to feel guilty, but I'm also not a bank. Am I the asshole for refusing to co-sign? No! Oh my gosh. Co-signing, like, on a loan, credit is such a big deal. The biggest deal. You wouldn't think about it. And then you have a credit card and everything from getting your house to your car to getting anything that you want, like a big purchase item, it matters. So no, you're not the asshole for not co-signing. Co-signing is taking on such a financial risk, especially if your boyfriend already blew his money. Like he already showed you that he can't handle responsibility at all. Also, I think it's really crazy that the mom texting you is a massive red flag. Like, he probably was just like crying to his mom on the phone, like, she won't co-sign on my loan. Like, literally, you? And you should leave him. The mom said that's what partners do. First off, you're not married to him. Like, you are his girlfriend. You're not his lender. You're not his parents. His parents should co-sign on it. They want to believe in his potential. Like, your boyfriend is trying to pressure you into a bad deal. So, you are dodging, I think, a major bullet. Not the asshole. Do not co-sign. His potential means nothing if his choices are a PS5 and sneakers over reliable transportation. He's not a partner. He's a financial liability. The fact that his mommy is texting you to pressure you is a massive red flag. You are not a bank and you are not his financial safety net. Stick to your guns or you'll be paying for his car and his poor decisions. Preach it, say it, scream it. She needs to end the relationship now. Him and his mother have given her every reason to prove this is a very unhealthy relationship. If she stays, she pays. Get out now. I agree. Please end it, OP. This is the way OP, if she's so concerned she can help her widow baby boy, OP, do not co-sign for him. This would be breakup worthy for me. So everyone is saying literally just break up, and I agree. Like, this is kind of an insane ask. So you are not the asshole, and I hope you leave him. I'm gonna stop it here, guys. Blow some kisses on that like button and absolutely disrespect that subscribe button. I will see you guys in another one. Bye.